Hey guys, welcome back to Bearded Lumber. I forget to say it a lot. My name's Eric. You've seen Matthew on the tractor already. We're not in the sawmill this morning. We're over in our storage shed. Matthew just moved out our little mobile chop stand station. It's so handy like it is. We hate to take it apart, so he just set it out of the way. What we got here is Sweetgum. We cut and dried this a while back, and if you followed our boulder planer build, you've seen some of it over on the wall, how beautiful it turned out. Actually got a customer that needs 20 boards today. They're building a timber frame, kind of like a 3 seasons room, and they need it right now to put in because they got to go in behind it and insulate and plywood. And anyway, it needs to go up right now, and he's going to put a bunch more of it in his house later, but this part needs to get done. So Matthew and I are going to dig out 21 boards. We're going to use all 1x8s. We're going to plane them down to 3/4 of an inch. Then we'll run through our straight line edger and make true 1x7s out of them, and they're going in a person's home. Now, I can tell you all the time, if you don't have a kiln, you need a buddy in your neighborhood that's got one, because you can really add a lot of value to your product, to the end consumer. You know, we're working on a motor planer. We're close. If it was up running, we'd either tongue and groove this or S4S it in just a few minutes, and it'd be on down the road. But we don't have it yet, so we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. Yeah, 2-step process. Plane it and then edge it. So let's quit talking and get to work. Pick them off. If it ain't good, let me know. Okay guys, we dug out 20. He wants 20. I'm gonna give him 21. Always remember, take care of your customers, give more than they expect. We dug out 21 boards that'll suffice his needs. Now, we're not gonna leave this stack unbanded for a couple reasons. It's in a hot building. This little green building over here, you know, it's just a metal building. It gets hot. Would it probably stay flat? Yeah, it probably would, but it don't take much effort for us to put these bands back on here, tension it up, and don't have to worry about it. Now the bottom stacks, they got weight on them, but this top stack's just sitting up here, and we don't want to take any chances of warping, twisting, moisture changes, because it's going to sit here. It might be 120 degrees in here today, and in a month it's going to be, you know, in the 50s. So just belt suspenders. It don't take much effort. Get the bander out of the way. That's the nice thing with these banders. You can retension them without cutting your band shorter. You just don't run it through the part that cuts the band off. There you go. Okay guys, you can see that didn't take just a second to reband that lumber. If you don't have a banded strapping system, I highly recommend you get one. This is from, what is it, New Line? They're straight off of Amazon, people. They're not that expensive. I use the 3/4 inch strapping. It's a woven. It's rated for 2,600 pounds breaking strength. I have yet to break one. I have tried accidentally. Dropped a whole pile of 2x4s off the tractor one day and they hit the ground, rolled over, scooped them back up, and away we went. It's well worth the money. Little tools like 130 bucks. Roller strapping, the big rolls, they're a little over $100, and you get a box of 1,000 buckles for $120, $30. Yeah, it'll be $500 the time you buy a cart and everything to make it. But I like these. They're retensionable. They're reusable. What we put in the kiln, we tighten it up when we cut it. If it sets out here a couple weeks, shrinks a little bit, we tighten it up before it goes to the kiln. And if we're not going to unpack it, if it's just going straight on the customer's truck, we'll put them on there and we'll tension it up again. So when they go home, the stack stays good and true. It's a win-win-win all the way around. So enough talking. We got our boards picked out. Let's get back over to the other shop and we'll get to planing. Okay guys, let's talk a little bit about our setup here. We got a woodworking building up here, but Matthew and I hate to go back up there and work. Compared to this, it's small, it's hot, all our fans are down here. We got plenty of open space here in the floor. We got our boards sitting over there. We're gonna run them this way. I'll stack them up, and then we'll run them back through off. We'll alternate stacking them back and forth. This is another tool in the shop, guys. If you don't have one, I highly recommend you get a planer and get as big and as wide as you can financially afford. I wouldn't go any smaller than a 20-inch planer. All your homeowners are gonna have these little 12-inch DeWalt, Milwaukee, Jet, whatever. Pick your brand. They're all gonna have these little 12-inch planers. I got one, and I'm sure you got one too. Not everybody in the neighborhood's gonna have one of these. So we can do 20-inch boards. Matter of fact, we got a kiln full of 16s and 20 wides that we're going to do next week. Probably do a video on them because they're unfortunately 20 wide, 16 foot long. We're sawing them for we're drying them and planing them for a fellow sawyer. But it opens up opportunities that you otherwise wouldn't have. You can add value to your product. I would not want to run our sawmill business without our Grizzly planer. Do they make bigger? Yes. Do they make better? Sure. Do they make it that fits in your budget? That's for you to decide. On our local Facebook marketplace, which I try to stay off of, it gets me in trouble all the time, there's a couple of these for sale. And I'm sure in your area, your part of the country, within a couple hours, you can find a few of these on marketplace for sale. I don't mind buying a tool like this used. If they can plug it in, and you would hope that if they own a machine like this, they can plug it in and you can run some wood through it, pay your money and move on. So, anything else on this, Matthew? We only got to have one side clear, but we're still shooting for 2. So, we won't be overly aggressive with our cut. We'll probably keep it to 1/16 or a little more. This is a hardwood. It's not as hard as white oak, but it's as hard as a good maple. So get our earplugs on, get the fans turned on. Let's go to work, guys. Okay guys, you just seen us go through the quick time lapse and run these through the planer. Let's cover that real quick. That was 4 passes on our Grizzly planer. The boards were sawn at 1 1/8 inches and then were dried, and we sawed them 8 inches wide. Now, I did that because if you watch some of our previous videos, if you haven't, go back and look for them. The pitfalls of sawing Sweetgum, one of its tendencies is it likes to shrink a lot across the width. So we added an extra thickness for that. And the second part was it likes to crown a little bit on the heart. So you got to have a little extra thickness to get that out. So 4 passes from 1 1/8 inches to 3/4 made 21 boards, perfectly acceptable to use either side. Now, if we'd only cleaned one side, it would still been okay if it had been a defect on the back. But all these cleaned up perfect. He can flip them around, pick the prettiest side and go with it. Matthew just changed our saw blades on our edger. We went from a 24 tooth, I think, it's a real aggressive blade. This is what you want to run for green lumber, to a 10-inch. This happens to be an Irwin saw blade, 40 tooth, thin curve, basically a table saw blade. Same 5/8 arbor, it'll work. But to get any kind of acceptable finish on your edger, it's not as good as a table saw, but it's close. But to get an acceptable finish, you got to switch blades. That 24 tooth will it's used to cutting green wood, and it'll take dried wood and just make a mess out of it. So, gonna get that on. We're gonna run them all. Like I say, they were cut at 8 inches green. They've all dried to around 7 5/8. So to give us a little room to work with, we're gonna set the machine at 7 inches, run them all, and this project's done. Now the customer said he's gonna take them home, take his router, and he's gonna take the square edges and put like a little 45 on them, put them together on the wall. A little different building scenario. He's actually gonna apply plywood, then apply this, and then siding on the back side of it. It's a 3 seasons exterior porch. So it won't be exterior, but there won't be no insulation behind it. It's basically gonna be this board, piece of plywood, and then the exterior siding applied on that. So that's on them. We're just doing our part, give them what they want. So let's get this fired up. It's about lunchtime. We'll get them all run, and we'll come back and talk about it. Okay guys, that's going to do it for today's video. We got 21 beautiful boards here. I challenge you, if you've never played with Sweetgum, give it a go. You will not regret it. Just watch the previous videos. Know some of the pitfalls before you play with it, but man, this stuff is gorgeous. As well, adding a big planer to your sawmill, we happen to have a 20-inch Grizzly. Whatever you can find that fits your budget, you won't regret it having it. If you see a little job sitting here beside it waiting on another customer to pick up, that's all white oak, and this is Sweetgum. So, anything else, Matthew?
Nothing I know of.
This kind of falls in the small job category, guys. You know, you're not gonna buy a new piece of equipment doing this small work, but it does keep the lights turned on, and we're glad to do it. This is going in a very expensive home, and it's going to be there for a long, long time. And he's committed to wanting some more in another part of the interior of the house, but he needs this today so they can move forward with their project. So we're helping them out. I guess that's going to do it. As always, you know, we appreciate Solomon, Third Beard Fishing. His channel is growing by leaps and bounds. You would give him a check out. Also, him and my daughter run a consulting company, design company, 525 Design. That'll all be listed in the description below. If you need a logo, he done all our logos. I don't have a logoed shirt on this morning, but he can help you out with that. Also, Joe Main from Industrial Cutting Tools. By the time this video comes out, he might be already gone from Industrial Cutting Tools, but he's been a great partner. Their company's been a great help to this channel. He's transitioning over to Mizer. We wish him all the best of luck, and we may see or hear from him in a different position now. But as always, Industrial Cutting Tools, they're great people. They can help you out. They supply saw blades, they supply planer blades, they sell all the Mizer's industrial equipment, edgers, sharpeners, setters, big sawmills. So that's going to do it for today, guys. We greatly appreciate you watching, and got any questions, comments, leave them in the description below. We'll see you back at the mill.
Thank you for watching. Here's a video selection and a playlist suggestion. Click here to subscribe for more great content. We'll see you at the mill.